Hey everybody. Um, I know on the Madhouse in my page, I'm on here quite a bit. I think this is the first time I'm actually broadcasting on the JX3 page as well. Um, th- I hummed and hawed about being able to do this just because I normally don't like to, you know, glamorize or pies or whatever you want to call this tragedy. And that's kind of what's happened to a really good friend of mine and a huge part of JX3. Her husband passed away. Mary Ellen Herter is the effects woman for virtually everything that we've done. We've only had a couple things where she couldn't show up, or a friend of mine wanted to try something, but the 90% of JX3, if you see any kind of effects or props or makeup or anything, it's because of Mary Ellen. And on the weekend, her husband passed away, Rob Herter. I have the privilege of knowing Rob now for about 5 or 6 years, ever since he brought Mary Ellen out to Sumac, to Kennesari Camp, where we filmed Slaughter at Sumac Ditch. And there has not been a nicer gentleman on the planet that I can name right now. And it's heartbreaking to think that she lost him. So I wanted to come on here, and this is a spot where anybody who wants, and I hope a lot of people will come here and do it, is to post your favorite memory of Rob Herter. If you're familiar with the man, please post something here about him. If you're not, please read what people will be posting, because the man was a gem. He was a police officer in Chatham-Kent, and I read an article today that talked about him, that said it didn't matter what shift he was on, where he was going, you never heard him grumble. And that is so true. We had Mary Ellen coming out at so weird hours for Sumac just to start. And we had to bring her out at almost, I think it was 11 p.m. at one point, and he drove her out there. And he smiled, he sat in his truck and he waited. And, I don't think I ever heard the man grumble a bad word. And again, I guess I'm just here because I am literally heartbroken for Mary Ellen, um, especially because of the fact that the man was so fit. I guess I just read too, he was 64. This is a man who was running marathons. He was going around the world, not around the world, I guess. I'm so sorry. Between Canada and US, he was down at Disneyland running marathons. You couldn't slow this guy down, not for anything. And that is always what I'll have in my head as Rob. Even with our comics, CKX, we did it as an in joke in the very first episode that the officer that was arresting Ravenous was Officer Herter, Rob. So in the second episode, we had to put him back in, arresting. Oh my gosh, I forget who it was in the second. Oh, it was Dr. Stevel. Yeah, he arrested Dr. Stevel. And there is a third one coming out that was supposed to come out in April, and I honestly believe he's back in there again. And I think that will continue. That he is going to be our Stan Lee of the CKX comics. So you will always see Officer Herter in the CKX universe. But please, any kind of comments. I just want to hear good thoughts about Rob, and some well wishes for Mary Ellen as she goes through this tough time. I guess that's it. I am not even sure why. No, I guess I know why I did this, because I'm heartbroken, and this is the best way to share. And anybody that knew him would say the exact same thing. So thanks for listening. And from everybody at JX3, and I can even see the Madhouse too, because a lot of those guys have come out to filming with us. Mary Ellen, our thoughts and hearts are with you, and will be for the foreseeable future.